Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Anklet beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup, Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 15. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group at Love After Lockup, Lockdown, or on Instagram at LALU Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Lisa.
And this week we are covering Season 2, Episode 15, Prove Yourself. This is the first episode of Life After Lockup. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am spectacular.
So, my story for today, and it doesn't include anything with bugs. My house is clear of bugs. And it never did have bugs, to be fair, just those two small periods of time. But I think it was in July. I'm going to say several weeks ago. I was sitting out on the patio and I was actually watching and writing my notes for one of our episodes. I don't remember what episode it was, but I was drinking and I remember going into Amazon and looking at coffee. And I do that sometimes, and you do it too when you're stressed out. And I start adding stuff to the cart sometimes. And I might buy it, I might not buy it, but it's therapeutic to even just put it in the cart. So I must have forgotten to take it out of the cart, or I just literally went to the final step. So there's several steps to get to the actual purchase point, and then never did it, or got there, meant to take them out. I don't know what happened, but somehow I must have had the screen open, walked up the stairs in a stupor, and must have put the order through and wound up with almost $60 worth of coffee. But it wasn't like regular coffee. It was all flavored. And I'm the only one that drinks flavored coffee. And I could never, it would take me a year to get through all of this coffee. So I was thankfully able to cancel half the order. I wound up with they canceled the larger portion, and I wound up with the $22 box or something. And that one was too late. That shipper must have been super quick, but they already started fulfilling the order. So couldn't cancel that. But then I had a credit in my account. I think I wound up actually paying $12 or something like that. Not a big deal. I still have the flavored coffee, still trying to get through the box. It's a lot.
That's not too bad. That's not too much damage. I used to play that. I would wake up in the morning and, Amazon would be like, hey, you have a package on the way, arriving today. I'm like, what the hell did I buy? So yeah, that was the game that I played with myself every night. I got high. What did I buy? And some of the stuff, I don't understand what was going through my head when I was like, I need this.
Right. And sometimes I do, well, when I'm conscious, do buy things, but I buy a lot and I don't know what, because my husband will be like, you have a package here. And I'll be like, I have no idea what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't remember what I ordered. But the only other thing I did recently, very recently, within I think it was last week, is I put through a Shein order, and there's I realized there's a ring and a bracelet in it, and that they total $4 or something. And
Mm-hmm.
I looked at them and they look cute, but I would never buy jewelry like that from it, because it's gonna be cheap, especially at a couple dollars. The bracelet's probably gonna be nice and wearable, but the ring, it's nice, but I think that it's a 5, and I don't wear a 5. It's
Oh.
4.5. And if it fits, it's great, but we all know it's going to tarnish. Well, it's black, so that coating's going to be off with the album. And to wash my hands a couple times, coating's gone.
I got some jewelry. I've gotten some jewelry from Timu or Sheen or whoever. And it's not something you would wear daily, but to go out, I mean, it's nice. It's nice enough. It's like Claire's quality.
Yeah. It might, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be pretty, but I may not be able to just wear it daily. I'll have to maybe, like you said, wear it as costume and just
Mm-hmm.
wear it out once in a
Yeah.
while. But mhm.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, this is our first episode of Life After Lockup. And we are going to start this episode out with Clint and Tracy. And I know I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. Cannot get over how skinny she is.
Yeah, she's certainly very skinny. And we did see how much weight she lost last episode. But, the time frames here, we're not super sure of. But no matter what, she looks like she lost a good, possibly up to 50 pounds. And it's not been a very long time. So I don't know what the rules were in prison. This was jail, but we do know that you can get drugs into prison, possibly jail also because of Lizzie, but some are stricter than others. But I would guess that with Tracy, weight goes hand in hand in whether she's using. And the first time around when she got out, she was chunky. And she said she never had been chunky. So I'm guessing she didn't have access to drugs and now she does. Or she did the second time around.
You
We
think
don't
she
know.
was chunky? I think she just looked healthy.
Not chunky. Yeah, thick. Er,
Thicker.
thicker. With two C's.
So at this point, she only has 2 days left on parole. She's been out for 2.5 months, which is something else to talk about her weight with. That's 10 weeks, 2.5 months. She would have gained back even a portion of it if her story about not eating in the jail was true. If it's just a matter of not being exposed to healthy foods or edible foods, even, fine. But why haven't you gained any of that weight back to this point?
Exactly, because she blamed it on the prison food being bad. But since she's been out, you're having regular food. We
Right,
know that they're not
exactly.
cooking. They're door dashing McDonald's and Taco Bell, but I mean, yeah, she'd be gaining weight.
She would be gaining weight.
And to me, she honestly looks a little bit skinnier than she was last season. I mean, not last season, last episode. So he says that his mom would not answer the phone for her and or won't answer the phone for her. Why would she?
Yeah, why
You
would she?
know,
No.
mm-mm. She's a knower. That's weird.
They mentioned that Tracy has never successfully completed her parole. So every time she's gotten out, she's messed up and gone back to jail or prison. And now she's looking, like I said, she's looking at only 2 days out. So apparently he's been reading these 8 rules that they gave her to her every single day. And she's like, stop reading to me. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First rule of don't go back to prison.
Yeah, first rule of prison club, don't go back to prison.
We noticed that her makeup is super thick, and I'm like, watch a YouTube tutorial because that shit's thick. Like, it reminds me of when, like, my aunt would, like, wake up in the morning after not taking off her mascara and just add more mascara to the mascara because you could see in Tracy's eyes, like, the little clumps of, like, old mascara coming off. It was bothering me. She has, like, raccoon eyes.
Yeah, I think a huge problem there. It looks like, at least, I don't know, it's speculation, but it looks like she just had her makeup on, slept in it, and then tried to refresh it without showering, which you can do once maybe, but I mean, you can't do that day upon day and pull off. That doesn't
Yeah.
work that way.
Especially not when you're like maybe if you're a light makeup wearer, but not if you're like a thick makeup wearer, which clearly she is. And honestly, she'd look a hell of a lot better if she didn't just plaster that stuff on.
Right. So they've been married a year at this point. She does make the admission that the night that they got married, she was only out to score her drugs. Her only concern was to use the drugs. Now, she
Mhm.
also said there are things a woman can do to get drugs. and she said she did them. So if she's telling us this on camera, my assumption, and maybe I am completely wrong, is that she has told him too.
Yeah, and we can all guess what that is.
Exactly.
Well, this is the thing. Okay, so he's okay with it loosely, but he does say if you go back to jail, it's over. And we've heard him say this stuff. If you do drugs again, it's over. But then in the next scene, we'll hear him say there's nothing that this woman can do that will make me not love her, not want her, and not have her be my wife. So which one
Right.
is it? Are you because I don't believe for a second that he's going to leave her if she goes back to jail because she already did that once, or if she does drugs because she already did that once too, at least once.
Right. He's not going anywhere. I don't, until she tells him that she's done with him, he's not going anywhere.
No, he's riding this out to the very end.
So, to prove that he makes good decisions, he's decided to celebrate the end of her parole by taking her to Vegas the very next day. Now, I can't foresee anything going wrong with this plan.
Yeah, and at first I thought they were moving to Vegas, but apparently they're just going to Vegas because they were in the bedroom and it looked like I thought they were like packing, like shit was in disarray. Also, the corner of that bed was bothering me because it was either stained or ripped. And the sheets weren't on it. Come on, man, you know you're recording. You're on TV. Put some sheets on your bed.
I think about that all the time. Like, that's one reason I wouldn't want to be on TV, because everybody would catch every little thing you didn't do.
Yeah.
But also, if I knew I was on TV, I would at least try to do every possible thing I could. You know what I mean? Like, even then, people would still be like, oh my God, loser, you didn't do this, that, or the other. Like, yeah, my bad, whatever. But if you don't even try,
But at the very least, all they could do it. I mean, they could just like have thrown a comforter over the
yeah,
edge of the bed. Come on. I mean, if I have company over, I make sure I do that. Like you're recording for live television, not live television,
but yeah,
live
it's still
Clinton Tracy,
national TV, though.
national
Yeah,
TV. Yeah, and we all know that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so it's logically not a good idea at all.
I don't get it. But so she's like, I mean, she is downright harassing him about meeting his mom. Like, she's just pushing, just do it. Just go tell her I want to meet her and I'm going to meet her and we're going to meet. And, it kind of reminds me of like a more aggressive Megan when she was like, I'm going to meet Aviana. But now Tracy's like, I am going to meet your mom.
Oh yeah, and to be fair, honestly, Tracy has more of a case than Megan does, kind of. But she asks him repeatedly, like you said, harassing him if mom has said anything about her. And he says no, she doesn't believe him because she knows mom's talking shit about her.
Shouldn't she be?
She should. And we know that Tracy hasn't earned anything but bad judgment from Clint's mom. All the shit she did, and she's literally destroying her son's life. But also, to be fair, he's destroying it along with her. But Tracy stole the car, cost him $21,000. All this crap. I mean, why? Why would you? If she had gotten out, she went to rehab, she got therapy, she doesn't wear 10 pounds of makeup, and she doesn't lose 50 pounds from drugs, yeah, maybe then. But
Well, like, yeah, exactly like you said. Get into therapy, sign up for a rehabilitation program, outpatient even, or attend some kind of support group. Do anything to show that it's your intention to get better and that, actions speak. You can say whatever you want. You can say, oh, I'm clean. Oh, I'm this. Oh, whatever. I'm not going to. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of would like to see her mom and dad meet Tracy at this point.
His
But I
parents.
understand why they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't
Wait,
blame
did I
Alice.
say yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame Alice at all for not wanting to meet her. And I understand that she's afraid that she's going to push him away, but at the same time, she can't condone a relationship that's so dangerous for Clint. I mean, this is a dangerous situation, literally. not just financially, but physical danger, emotional danger. And as people have speculated before, as we've speculated, he may have had some addiction issues himself. A significant heartbreak could lead relapse.
Absolutely.
So it's a mess, and I do not envy Alice's position.
And I agree with her at this point.
Next, we are taking a look at Megan, Michael, and Sarah. And Megan is putting a face mask on her friend.
Yeah, they're putting those like ones that come in the package, and then they're all like, I think you either wet them or they come wet and you throw it on your face. You can get them at like the Dollar Tree, and they're so gross. But yeah,
I don't like face masks in general. They just weird me out. Like, it's a textural thing, I think. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So Michael calls her, which tells us that they're still at minimum talking. And now, at this point, when she's talking to him lovingly, Megan is a homewrecker. She has now crossed that boundary, and all of the things that she had in her defense when she was talking to Sarah are gone.
yeah. She does say she thought she'd be married by now, and he is calling her from prison.
Right.
And Megan's like, she says like Bay, and the friend says Bay, and Megan said, yeah, he's still Bay. And so there you have it. I don't know. Now she has no excuses because she knows.
Right.
She knows. But he is still lying to her saying he's going to get a divorce, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's still married.
She knows that he's a liar. She knows that Sarah's pregnant. She knows that he's married. B is entirely over the situation, and he's not the only person in her life that is over the situation. She keeps putting herself into this situation. The more she learns, the more awful it becomes, and the more her behavior is unacceptable. I mean, her dad's over.
Everyone's over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Clint situation in a similar way. And now Michael has proven to her that he is a liar, and he's capable of lying about major things. And Sarah knew he was a liar, but now Megan knows he's a liar, and she's still continuing. So at this point, should you believe that he loves you? Should you believe that he's going to divorce his wife? Should you believe that he's going to marry you? Should you?
I mean, you could believe that he loves you, but to say, oh, he's going to divorce his wife, he told you he wasn't married. Why would you believe any of the stuff that he's saying? And you can't use the fact that he's saying it to you as an excuse anymore. He's proven that he doesn't tell the truth.
These aren't small lies, these are major lies.
Megan says she doesn't like Sarah, and I'm sure Sarah cares not whatsoever.
But Sarah hasn't done anything to earn Megan to not like her other than just being married to her own husband.
Right. Married to her own husband, having a child with her husband. How dare
Yeah,
her?
how dare she?
Exactly. Apparently, Megan and Sarah got into it on Twitter, and they were going at it, and Day Day got involved, defending Sarah. So now Megan doesn't really like Day Day, but Day Day really doesn't like Megan.
I'm wondering if Day Day wanted to tell Sarah and Mom stopped it. I kept thinking that because it seems like Day Day doesn't give a shit, you know?
About Michael's once?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Day Day's on Sarah's side 100%, you
yeah.
know? And she should be, because the way that all of this is going about, and especially after it all coming out, when the truth came out and Megan chose to stay,
Yeah. And
it's
so she said Megan's saying she still has questions for Michael. You do find out that she's literally gonna go to his release, which is messed up.
that is so messed up.
Yeah. It takes a lot of balls.
I don't know if she believes, like, she says she wants to ask him these questions in person. Does she think he can't lie to her face? Because he can lie straight to, he can lie to anybody's face.
He definitely can. And he just like, I'm just wondering at this point, like what the hell she sees in this guy, like Joe, who we had on from Hallmark of Greatness. Like this guy has nothing going for him. He's not even good looking. He looks like a deer in headlights. He has no change in emotion. He's so monotone, like nothing changes. He's just like duh 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 duh, like duh
Yeah.
the whole time. Nothing. What is anyone seeing in this? There's nothing going for him.
I mean, the fact of how many times he appears on our POS list, I think just says how we feel about him. It's
Yeah.
always such a toss up who behaved the worst. But Megan does say that she has a secret of her own to tell him. I can't imagine what she's going to tell him that would even be interesting. She seems like one of the least interesting people, which is, I feel like, maybe why she's trying to define herself by him. If that makes sense.
We speculate it's probably just that she's been seeing someone else. And who the fuck cares? Who cares? We know she's not pregnant.
He's got a whole other wife. He's got a whole wife and 2 babies. Come on, man. Okay, next up, Scott and Lizzie. He is with Charlene shopping for clothes for a date.
Yeah, a blind date because he needs to look better for his date. And it does look like Scott had his teeth fixed without putting a partial over his old teeth. His teeth look like he did have some work done. So he looks good.
He
He
does
looks
look
good.
good.
Hmm.
He said the breakup was hard, which I think is obvious, right? Like, we knew he wasn't taking that well. He did try to date Jasmine, but decided they'd be better off as friends. And I'm wondering if she decided that because of his obsession with Lizzie.
Yeah. Yeah, because he said Lizzie was always in the back of his mind.
He's worried this date's going to be expensive. I don't think it's going to be Lizzie expensive. Like, I don't feel like Charlene's going to hook you up with somebody who's out to spend, $2,000 of your money.
He's gonna have a once if crazy and they start ordering like the most expensive things on the menu. I mean, these days you can just be like, okay, well, at the end, we're gonna split the bill. He may not get a second date out of it, but
Yeah, but would you want to have a second date with somebody who'd do something like that? Like, if you're ordering the most expensive thing just to see if you can get away with it, you're not somebody I would want to date anyway. You know what I mean?
for me, if it doesn't matter who I'm with, if they're paying, I'm looking for the most reasonable item on the menu. I don't know how people can be that way, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. He spent $100,000 on her, and he's currently $50,000 in debt.
Yes, but he did get a new job. He said that it pays good and it pays most of his bills with the extra money he's getting from it. So all of his extra money is going to his debts right now.
To go $150,000 in debt.
Yeah. But we've got to talk about Charlene. So Charlene, which we thought that, we talked about this, that she'd be great for him and she's beautiful. She's got so much going for her. She's far more than Lizzie. I think she's so much more attractive than Lizzie. She's not a drug addict that we know of. She's helpful to him. She gives him advice. She's by his side. She hasn't asked him for money. She tells him, right from wrong. And they've been best friends for 15 years. And he says that she's made comments of jealousy towards the women that he dates. And that to me, so he speculates she might have interest in him. Well, why haven't you explored that? I mean, I get it kind of, because I did have a childhood friend who I stayed friends with for a lot of my life. And when we became teenagers, he expressed dating me. But at that point, I looked at him as my brother. I could never have dated him, you know? So I kind of get it.
But I think at that point, when you've been friends for 15 years, conversation is in order. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
feeling either I'm attracted to you, or because, saying that could ruin a relationship, but not saying that and then building up emotions, into something deeper could also end your friendship. So you just think, like, if you've known each other for
Yeah.
15 years, that maybe, and especially if she's saying things that he interprets as jealousy, why not say something like, if she's like, well, I don't know what something she would say when she was jealous, and he'd be like, "Why? Are you interested in dating me? Are you interested in a relationship with me?" You know, it can be something that simple.
But you could be right. He could be saying, "Well, if we date and it doesn't work out, then I've just lost my best friend."
That's
But,
true too,
it could be
right?
a risk.
I mean, everything's a risk, right?
Hmm.
He says that he's always going to love Lizzie and he's always going to have hope that they'll work out someday.
Mm. So maddening.
It is. I'm okay with him always loving her, but to have that hope that it's going to work out is where you're just making your life miserable.
Yeah.
So it cuts over to Lizzie and Jasmine, and they are going to get tattoos.
And I noticed that when they were doing her talking heads, that she was leaning forward and doing like this motion. And I know that the world can't see me doing this, but she was like, and she
Shaking
had
her.
boobies, big boobies. Though that is a boob job. I'm like, holy cow, like big old boobies. And I'm like, she got a boob job. I don't know how she got that boob job. And I don't know whether we're gonna talk about it, but there was a big elephant in the room.
Everything
So
she does, like she thinks she's adorable, so she does stuff as if she's like a cute younger girl, you know what I mean? And she's not, so it just looks weird. It's like, you're 40, my friend. I don't know, like,
yeah.
oh, everybody does cringe stuff, but I think, I don't know.
Oh man.
She tells her tattoo artist that she was in prison because you can't not tell people that.
You have to tell everyone, the Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven, the Dollar
Thanks for my
General. You
iced
have to tell
coffee.
everyone. I
I've been to
was in prison,
prison.
by the way. Like a large iced coffee. By the way, I was in prison.
Yep.
So she said that she and Jasmine have been inseparable. And Jasmine is the mom of the relationship because that's normal.
Oh my goodness. Jasmine says she loves spending time with her mom, which obviously that's what she had always asked. So, what she had always asked from her.
She's got to let her mom move on and have an adult life. I mean, it's fine to have a close relationship with your daughter. There's nothing wrong with that, but they can't be like besties and not, also living adult lives. Lizzie works in a factory now, and she says that she doesn't make a lot of money, but she makes good money. Mm.
Well, she does say she no longer hustles men. I don't believe that.
No,
I
no,
don't
that's how she
know.
got those boobies.
I mean, there's, yeah, stuff comes out. We'll wait. I don't want to out it too early, but
Uh-uh. No. She says that there's a small part of her that Mrs. Scott. No, she doesn't.
she's full of shit.
I rolled my eyes.
She has an upcoming date from Tinder, which I don't know, man. She says she still has feelings for Scott, and there's still a chance they could be together. Why? Like,
Yeah.
you never had feelings for him. What do you mean you still have feelings for him?
She doesn't. This is just for show.
Next up, Andrea and Lamar. And Lamar is going to be released 2 days. And at this point, she's moved her kids from Utah to California to be with him.
Yeah. I mean, Lamar went back prison, shocker, because he was taking chances. We knew he was taking chances. He was willing to even take more chances. So we see that Andrea is preparing food for his release and that Lamar has requested prison food. And which made me think that I haven't posted some prison food recipes in a while in our Facebook group, and I'm gonna do that.
What's your favorite prison food? There we go. That needs to be our post.
Oh, it needs to be a poll. Yeah, but while we're on that subject, real quick, we want to thank everyone for the massive following that we are gaining daily in our Facebook group, which is Love After Lockup Locked Down. So if you do listen to the podcast, or even if you don't listen to the podcast, but I don't know how you'd hear me tell you this if you didn't, but go and join our Facebook group and join the conversation. Anything prison related, anything about the show, anything reality TV you're watching, just go ahead and go in there and start a conversation.
We're pretty responsive. We'll get back to you pretty quick.
Yeah.
And if we don't, feel free to message us.
Yeah. Or email us.
So he got arrested 7 months prior to this. He spent 7
Yeah.
months in for this one. And Tennyson is worried that Andrea is going to go pick Lamar up by herself.
Yeah. He's super worried about his mom. Lamar, we found out, went back to prison because of the parole violation where he was with a friend who had a gun. We don't know whether he knew the friend had a gun. We don't know, but he says that he didn't know. But Tennyson is very concerned about his mom. He's been the man of the house since Lamar's not there.
I feel like this is where Tennyson is starting to parent Andrea.
Yeah, or be in a weird way a husband. It's weird. Not so weird, but kind of weird.
It's weird to me that he's like 16 years old and she said, "Oh, he's the man of the house." But I don't, I don't know. Maybe it's a Mormon thing. I don't have any clue. Just to me, it just sounded weird. But
Well,
whatever.
my dad was kind of that way when he lost his dad when he was young, and my uh my grandmother never remarried, so my dad took care of the household because his brother was sick and going blind. So he had to take on the role of the man of the house. So it happens, but we're talking about this was like in the 50s and 60s, not now, not
Right.
modern day. You're right, maybe it is a Mormon thing.
I don't know if you caught this, but she said she has a Norman Bates relationship with Tennyson.
Yeah, but this is something that Lamar said, and she didn't know who Norman Bates was until Lamar showed her.
But after you figure it out, why would you repeat that? That's a weird thing to say. It's not something you brag about. That's one of those things people go, "Oh, weird flex, dude." You know, what?
I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah, keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Um, so Tennyson worries that Lamar will be more aggressive after prison now. And this is like more aggressive, he says.
Which is weird because Lamar was, if I'm not mistaken, 17 and a half, 18 years, right? The first time.
Yeah.
How is 7 months going to suddenly change him in a way that those 18 years didn't?
Yeah. They're still terrified of this guy. Keep in mind, they still don't really know him very well at all.
Right.
They still haven't had a chance to know this guy.
So Andrea says to Tennyson, "Do you trust I make good decisions?" I had to insert no. And then he takes this really long pause and then he's like, "Mostly." Why would you ask that question to anybody, Andrea? You make terrible decisions. Like, I
Oh,
haven't seen you make one good decision so far.
he does make terrible decisions. Andrea says she's stronger than she thought. I don't know where she came up with this.
She's no longer the quiet, gullible Mormon. Never were.
Oh, Lord. So Nyla then is talking about Lamar and how he let her down and that he has a lot of changes to make.
And that's fair. I mean, you are going to take on a parental role in somebody's life. You need to be there for them. Like, don't get involved if you're not going to stick around. It's okay. I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that one.
Yeah.
Next up, Brittany and Marcelino. They got a puppy,
And they have a baby too.
a baby and a puppy,
Yeah.
and a new house.
Yeah. And a new house. So they're doing great. It's been a year to the day since she's been released from prison, so everything's going great. And they say they have Giovanni most of the time. There is a story that I did post about Brittany's life, and I don't know when it was from, I don't remember, but they do wind up having Giovanni full time because Tito has been getting in trouble. So I wonder if that's what's going on here, if this is the start of it.
Maybe that's why it was so easy. Well, it appeared easy for her to get custody of
Yeah.
Giovanni. I don't know that it was. I mean, they obviously leave out a lot. So,
Mhm.
to no surprise, he's still very worried about her going back to prison. I think he's always going to be worried about that.
But if there was anyone who I'd be like, this person's not going back to prison, it's Brittany. If there's anyone I felt confident on, it's her.
I feel like I hope that she won't, but I see that she could. It's just, it's a little scary to see how close she comes by some of the decisions she makes. I mean, staying involved with Amanda was not a good choice. That's it. What has she brought positive to her life? At least through what they've shown us, I haven't seen anything.
Speaking of which, her friends come over,
Right,
Sasha, and we find out more about Sasha, a lot more.
right. And they're drinking wine.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to drink on probation, right? Or parole. Or
I don't
it,
think any of them are allowed to be drinking.
yeah. Hmm. So she does say that her heart would hurt without Sasha, and we find out that Sasha is a major criminal. She did some very, very bad things. She was involved with a very serious crime where people were killed, and she may be going back to prison for a very, very long time. So it's pretty shocking. I didn't realize. I thought Sasha was like the on the straight and narrow, and she probably is on the straight and narrow now and changing her life, but it's too late. So,
So they're standing there having glasses of wine, and Marcelino comes in. He's got to go somewhere, but he says he's worried about leaving Zoila, their baby, there while she's drinking. To okay, so on one hand, he doesn't know how much she's going to drink, and her friends are over. Could she accidentally drink too much? Yes. Should it be a concern? Yes, because none of them are supposed to be drinking. And on the other hand, if they have a glass of wine, she's not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? Like, this, it's an overreaction. I feel like, to be like, I'm worried about leaving the baby here if she's only going to have one glass of wine.
but I don't like the way he's acting. And the reason why I don't like the way that he's acting is because I've seen those behaviors before in my own life with my significant other. And I really, really, it struck me like it actually got to me a little bit. I didn't like the way that he was acting. He was acting like a child. There's a way to deal with that situation. That's not how he was dealing with it.
A
Well, I'm
hundred
going to just
percent.
take the baby with me and this and that. I didn't like how he was acting. He could be an adult about it and be like, look, honey, like I just really don't feel comfortable. Can you just promise me that you're only gonna have like one glass of wine? No one's gonna hold the baby while there's an adult way and then there's the Marcelino way, which childish and combative. So
It was incredibly immature. I mean,
mhm.
like you said, there's such a better way to handle it. And
And it
he
would have
did
gone
not
over
find that.
well if he had said something to her in an adult way, which I feel would be so much better the way that if he were to deal with Brittany in that way, he would get a better reaction out of Brittany a million times over.
I agree. His big thing is he doesn't like, he's not even talking about the alcohol. He just doesn't want Amanda to hold the baby, to hold Zoila. And we find out that Amanda has two kids of her own.
See, ugh, it got to me. That really got to me. Just brought back bad memories. Yeah, it was so terrible of him. Come on, man. I mean, she's a mother. She knows how to hold a baby. Most people can hold a baby, let's be honest. You're not handing her over to a 5-year-old child.
Yeah. She's not going to drop her on the floor.
She's also not like a brand new infant either.
Yeah. He does say he's worried that Brittany is going to relapse. And to be fair, a lot of the time that they show her, she's drinking. So she does a lot of drinking for somebody who's in recovery. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah. If she could keep it to a glass of wine, I think that that's a step forward, though, because you could do something, you could have a substance like alcohol and be responsible about it and have one glass of wine. I think that says something, but you're right.
I mean, if she can have one glass of wine, then that's great. You know,
And
but
stop at one. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand why he would be concerned. So we take a very quick peek into Andrea and Lamar, and she's talking to Nyla about daytime prostitutes.
I loved this. This was my favorite part in this entire episode. Yeah, she's like, "How can you prostitute in the daytime?" And she says, "They're called night walkers." She's like, "Wait, no, streetwalkers." I have to say that Andrea does bring humor to the show a lot.
I
She
guess
is
that's
pretty
something.
funny, actually. But she's not trying to be funny. She's just funny.
Next, we are back to Clint and Tracy. He goes to see his mom to talk to her about Tracy because she's pushed it and pushed it, and he doesn't really have much of a choice at this point.
Yeah. He again, he's worried that if his parents don't like Tracy, it'll push her over the edge. Come on. Tracy's worried that this will push Clint away, and he's worried that this will push Tracy. Come on now.
So, to be fair, I don't think that he would leave if Alice didn't accept Tracy.
No.
However, to be concerned that if Alice doesn't like Tracy, it may push her over the edge to use again. That I feel like is a valid concern because I don't feel like it would take a whole lot to do that. And this scene is where we find out, I'm jumping ahead just a bit, but she's not drug tested on parole. She says that. So she could be using this whole time.
Crazy, crazy, because I have never heard of that. I have never heard of that. Like, what country bumpkin county did she like get arrested in? Like, I don't know, man. I have never heard of that.
And then who is like so obsessed with having a bond with their mother-in-law? Like, why is that big of a deal? And you think, okay, maybe because you don't have a good relationship with your family, but that's not the case because she says she has a relationship with her family, but she also wants a relationship with Alice. Alice does not like you. Move on. You know, and there's no reason to try to force it because she's never going to like you. She may tolerate you for the sake of Clint, but she is never going to like you. You done fucked that up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, she could. There is a chance that she could gain it back. She could. There's a lot of stuff Tracy could be doing to still, prove something. Because here's the thing: we keep talking about, oh, if this happens, Tracy's gonna get pushed over the edge. If we do this, Tracy's gonna get. You know what? It's up to Tracy to not be pushed over the edge by normal life situations. This is the thing. That is what the dangers of being an addict and not getting help are. If Because if very little things are going to push you back to using, you need help. You need to be in rehab. This is not the case where people in your life need to walk on eggshells for you so that you don't use again. That's not fair. How
Right.
is that fair to anyone? Shit happens. It's life.
He goes in to talk to Alice to ask for one more chance. He's asking her to meet Tracy, and she laughs, obviously out of frustration. You know, I mean, she's not, and no way does she think that's funny, but she asks him is if parole is drug testing Tracy, and he says no. And that would have been my that would have been my instinct. I'd have been like, no, she's not coming in my house. I am disgusted that she's in your house.
I do really like Alice is standing her ground, and we don't see many people doing this. They all cave in, but Alice is the only one who's like, nope, you know?
Mm-hmm. 2.5 months is not enough time to prove yourself. And like we said, she could have been doing things to prove herself. But I mean, if she had done any of the things we mentioned before, she would have a way to prove to Alice that this relationship is important to her. not only her relationship with Clint, but her relationship with Alice. Clint swears to Alice that if she gives Tracy one more chance, she won't mess up. And Alice still, nope, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not having it.
On her side 100%.
I really thought she was going to cave, honestly, and then she just didn't. I was like, "Whoa, Alice."
Hell yeah. Next, we're back to Megan, Michael, and Sarah is shopping for baby clothes with her friends.
Yeah, so Sarah is 9 months pregnant and she's literally about to have this baby. Like she's going to have the baby in a couple days. It's says it's hard to go through everything alone. Well, man, she's already done so much alone, and I'm just like, why are you still with this? Why? I mean, I get it, but then I don't get it because she's already basically done motherhood, pregnancy, everything, marriage all by herself. So why not just be alone then? You've already done it alone.
I think that like, she's young and she got married young, and sometimes when you do that, you have this fantasy idea, and you're like, I don't want my family to have a different last name than my kids. I don't want my kids to not be with their
Yeah.
dad, even though the fact, like, they're not with their dad. So I don't, but I think it's just that idea of having a relationship, their marriage, she wants it to work. And there are people who will work on a marriage forever. They will never give up on it.
Sarah says she doesn't know what the hell to think when it comes to Megan. I think in the back of her mind, she's just like really like, nah, she doesn't believe that nothing is going on anymore. And she's very warranted on that. And just the friends are like, what's been going on with Michael? And she's not going to pick up Michael because she's so pregnant that it's a risk. And so the mom and sister, Day Day and mom, are going to pick Michael up from the jail.
We do have to keep in mind, I mean, she's probably full of emotions and hormones and all that stuff too. And she says that he told her that he doesn't love Megan and he wants to be with her. So he's
Yeah, we know
feeding
that's a
both.
lie.
Well, we know from him, we know that's a lie. But to her, I mean, it's just feeding into the bullshit. So she's still believing that maybe she's going to have her family.
Here's one thing that got me, which is, movie magic. They talk about, as far as she knows, Megan's not going to be at Michael's release. Okay, we know we're creating a TV show. Why would they even say that if they didn't know Megan could possibly be at the release? It's the case of the missing folder.
I just feel like these two, her and Megan, just deny stuff. He's obviously not with somebody else, even though I saw him with somebody else. Come on. Come on. But Megan's driving to his release, so we know for sure that she's going. And she says she's not letting go of Michael.
Oh boy. So, yeah, he's apparently telling her all the time that he doesn't love Sarah. Ay, 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 these women. Like I said, I can understand Sarah, but Megan, I just don't know, man. I don't understand. Just find someone else at this point. I mean, you had sex one time. Just get over it. This isn't high school.
You're 28 years old, you know?
So Megan says she's going to confront Michael's mom as to why she knew about the deception and didn't say anything. Okay, all right. That one I kind of agree on, but she's gonna go. That woman scares me. I'm sorry.
His
Michael's mom
mom.
scares me. Yeah, Michael's mom is a scary woman. Megan's just like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna, like, you know, go face to face with this woman, not call her, not Twitter, text her, whatever. I mean, balls. A lot of
Megan does
balls.
have, she has more balls than sense. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course they're all there at his release, and Megan pulls up, and Mom and Day Day are in the car. This can't go wrong.
Again, she says she has something to tell Michael and she doesn't know how he's going to take it. Okay, I just think that she's dating someone. It's not a big deal. Like, you're not together. I mean, if she's dating someone, oh well, they're not married or anything. She should be dating someone.
I don't think whatever it is interesting. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what it is, but I feel like she's kind of boring. You know, I can't imagine she would have any really exciting secrets.
She took new. I know what it is. It just came to me. She's been watching new videos on YouTube and she's learned some more sexual positions.
Oh my goodness.
She's taken another class. She bought a different chair.
It's not going to be interesting. I can't imagine
No.
her having done anything. Next, Brittany and Marcelino. Sasha's sentencing date is coming up, and she's been charged with robbery, 2 counts of murder. So that's she served 4 years in county and 2 years on bail, and she's facing 10 to 30 years in prison now. So these are really, like you said, really serious charges.
She did not commit the murders. So she's hoping that she won't get, but she was still there and she was an accessory to the crime. And she says she's never had the opportunity to say she's sorry for her crime, but she will at her sentencing. But she did say anyone's there, which makes me wonder who the people were that were murdered if she's speculating whether or not that person, those people are actually going to have anyone show up for them. So I'm speculating why she would say that.
Maybe not everybody makes victim impact statements. Some people, I
Mm,
think, I mean, like, I don't know that it's good for everybody's mental health to continue to go to like court hearings and stuff like that. Some people just stop and try to move on with their life or process the loss instead of investing. It's just, I think people are different the way they behave. And we round this episode up with Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Megan says she did more for Michael than his mom and Day Day did while he was locked up.
highly doubt that. Highly doubt that.
What is she basing that on? Like,
I don't know. I wondered that myself. I
is,
have no, I don't know.
is it
Don't
money?
know.
Is it the $12,000 she spent on phone calls?
Let's just say that everyone collectively has done more for Michael than he ever deserved. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
So Megan, as you say, full of balls, knocks on the car window, talk to Day Day, and to absolutely no surprise, they get in an argument.
Yeah, Day Day gets out of the car, and at this point, I'm like, Megan, get back in the car. Back in your car. Because I don't think Day Day and Megan came from the same lifestyles. I get, how do you put it? Day Day's like street.
Well,
Megan's like,
I don't, Day Day, I don't know. Day Day doesn't seem street to me, but they are definitely, they come from different places for sure.
different walks of life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Who is your VIP for this episode?
I'm gonna go with Clint's mom for standing her ground and not giving in like everyone else does.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Mhm.
I back that choice. My VIP was Charlene for trying to hold Scott together and trying to help him move on from Lizzie. And your
Yeah.
POS?
Oh, Megan,
Ah,
hands
yeah,
down, Megan.
Megan all day.
Yeah,
You, ma'am, are a homewrecker.
yeah.
I bet you Day Day said that to her or something along those lines.
So we can go back. We can find those conversations. If you would like me to do that, I will do that, and we will screenshot them. If they have public Twitters, I'm gonna find them, and they might even be posted somewhere on one of the stories on some of the gossip pages. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna post some juicy stuff for this particular episode when it comes out in the Facebook group. I'll be posting stuff.
You can find us on Facebook. We have a group called Love After Lockup Locked Down. You can catch us over on Instagram at LALU Locked Down.
We're not super active on Instagram, but we do have 2 Facebook pages and then a Facebook group. But if you get to you can find it, you can find the others. So don't worry, it'll lead you there.
Yeah, just join the group. That's where all the conversation is. That's where we'll get back to you. That's where you can contact us if you have any stories or anything you'd like to let us know. So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, "Aw, babe, now that's validation." We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, "Don't mess up," I said, "Bet." Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, "Don't catch feelings," but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.